Hi everybody. So in this video, we're just going to do a little bit of practice with listening to connected speech and recognizing it. So what I'm going to do here is read a short dialogue, a conversation between two people, Brian and Jim, and I will be both voices. And what you're going to do is try to fill in what you hear and see if you can recognize the connected speech forms. So before you start listening to this video and practicing, I want you to go to this week's module and click on the connected speech practice here, and not the answers, just this practice, and download this and print it off so you can fill it in as I talk. Okay? So when you print this off and open it up, it will look like this. And do you see there will be blanks here? And it will say, you will try to fill in what that says. And what I want you to fill in is more what the actual words are, not the shortened form. So for example, I'll give you one at the end here. So the last one is, the last one here is, okay, goodbye. So what you heard there was goodbye, right? But what I want you to actually write in is the full version of that so that you recognize how it sounds differently than it's spelled and looks on the page. So you would write in goodbye, and that would be the correct answer. There would be goodbye, okay? And you can obviously just do this by hand. This is just for practice, but I think it will be something that will help you realize the difference. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to read the dialogue 3 times, and after each time you can pause and then take your time to try to fill in what you have. You can obviously fill it in as you're listening, but then take a second, a few minutes afterwards, try to see if you can figure out what some of them are, and then when you press play again, you can listen to it the next time. You could just listen to me say it every time 3 times and rewind it, but I think this might be easier. And also because I want it to sound as much like normal speech as possible, so it won't always sound exactly the same. Now, warning here, I'm going to read this at the same pace that I would in a regular conversation, so you can really get used to hearing how it would sound if you were overhearing a conversation or trying to speak with native speakers more fluently and with connected speech. All right, so I'm going to begin now. So listen up carefully and try to write in what you hear with the longer standard form, even though I am saying it in the weak form, the connected speech reduced form. Okay, so here goes. Starting with Brian. When are you going to Chicago? I'm going to go on Sunday. Man, I wish I were getting out of here for a while. You got your train ticket? No, I've got to get it tomorrow. What do you have to do in Chicago? I've got to give them some lectures, but I also want to do some sightseeing. Where'll you go? I want to get out of the tourist areas and see the local pizza places. Okay, have a good time. Okay, goodbye. Bye. Okay, so that was number 1. I know that was probably a little bit difficult and sounded very fast. I want you to pause it now. I will wait about 10 seconds, and then I will say it a second time so that you can hear it again. So pause now and fill in your answers. Okay, so now you are going to hear me say it another time. And you probably heard my cat meowing in the background too. Sorry about that. So this time, I think as I say each one, I will highlight over a little bit so you can tell what line I'm on as I'm going through. Okay, ready? Here we go. When are you going to Chicago? I'm going to go on Sunday. Man, I wish I were getting out here for a while. You got your train ticket? No, I've got to get it tomorrow. What have you got to do in Chicago? I got to give him some lectures, but I also want to do some sightseeing. Where'll you go? I want to get out of the tourist areas and see the local pizza places. Okay, have a good time. Okay, goodbye. Bye. Okay, that was number 2. So pause now, look over it again, and see if you can fill in your answers. Again, I will count to 10, and then I will do it for the third and final time. All right, here we go. Last time. You should have, hopefully, gotten most of them by now or get a good idea, and then you are just filling in the ones that you didn't hear very well the first time. And of course you can pause and rewind, but let's try to do it just one more time. Here we go. Brian begins. When are you going to Chicago? I'm going to go on Sunday. Man, I wish I were getting out of here for a while. You got your train ticket? No, I've got to get it tomorrow. What do you have to do in Chicago? I've got to give him some lectures, but I also want to do some sightseeing. Where'll you go? I want to get out of the tourist areas and see the local pizza places. Okay, have a good time. Okay, goodbye. Bye. All right, that's it. So let's see how you did. Again, maybe take a minute or two to go over your answers. You could look also at the connected speech forms if you're not sure about some of them and see what they sound like. So you can find this back in the module section. Here, the connected speech forms we were looking at before, which were these ones here. And then, when you're ready, you can check the answers and see how well you did. And this hopefully will help you get an idea of connected speech and why Americans speak a little bit differently when they're speaking to each other, and why maybe sometimes you have a little bit harder time hearing that.